Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome everybody in to the Dynasty Football League press release. Right now I'm going to take some time to actually share my link out to some places that I use. I do some call wrestling on this channel as well, so just bear with me while I do that. What I want to do is I want to cover everything in this Dynasty football with everyone to see who is and isn't going to want to get involved in this league. What's going on, James? Now, that being stated, I have no idea. I just got a message from somewhere. Alright, well, I apologize. But anyway, Dynasty Football League. I'm going to make this very blunt to those who are a part of this channel. The DFL will happen. It will cut into, and I'm going to say this again, it will cut into everything that is ICW, which is the International Championship Wrestling that we do. I'm going to make this league work this time. And what I mean by work is everything we've done prior has been testing. It has been beating around the bush with other games. We've tried Axis Football and a couple other different ones. I don't want to go with an antique video game, stuff from the early 2000s. That's just stupid. Despite its flaws, everyone seems to love Madden for the most part. And I shouldn't say everyone because it's a little unfair, but that being said, I'm looking for owners for this league. I know a bunch of people who want to get involved, but nothing's been set up yet in stone. And what I need to do now is I need to put owners in place so we can get those owners, so we can do some rule setups. We can do some settings and stuff like that. What's going on, Powerhouse, Lucius, Thomas O'Sullivan? Appreciate it, y'all showing up. I have the website. It's bottom left hand corner of your screen. You see where it says dflmadden.weebly.com. If you visit that page where I am on there now, you're going to see the Dynasty Football League logo, and you'll see that it's Madden. You see the YouTube channel, which is where you're at right now. I'm going to add the link to the Facebook group because I want everybody to get on the Facebook group, because we're going to use that group to really hope and pray that everyone who wants to be a part of this gets involved there, and really partakes in information there and really gets in this. Because again, I'm going to hand $100 to the winner of this league. So if you win the championship in the DFL, you're going to win $100. That's it. I'm paying you $100 if you win the league. That's what I'm doing. So if you want a shot at the money, you need to get involved. There you go. Awesome deal, Powerhouse. Congratulations, man. So the whole point of this here press release is I'm going to go over a few things, and if you're new to the channel and you hear this on a replay, excuse me, or you're in the show now, comment on anything I'm going to comment about right now, because what I want to do, I need feedback. I want people involved. I want people to be a part of this. Even if you don't plan on being in the league as an owner, maybe create a player and put your name on a guy. That's awesome. So that being said, I'll drop the link so it's easier for you guys to click here in the chat room so you have it, because like I said, I'm on there now. So as I go to the site, if I go to the teams page, I have all the NFL teams there. Now the teams you will see are the NFL teams, all 32 NFL teams, because my goal is to have all 32 NFL teams be owned. But the problem with all 32 teams being owned is this: do I really have the time to run 16 games a week? The answer to that question is obviously no, I do not. Okay, now the only way I can do that is if we as a league with the Dynasty Football League are willing to do games 3-4 days a week. And that was something I was thinking about. If I have 16 games and I do 5, 5, 6, for example, over a 3-day period, that means the teams then have 4 days to make their adjustments, make any roster changes, any cuts, any trades, whatever it needs to be for those 4 days, submit their new playbook, things like that. and set it up and go that route. Now, as you see James just making that mention there, and that's what I was going to go with next, it's also been suggested, why don't we just take 16 teams like we did in the last test? Because the last DFL test we were doing, we made 16 teams. We relocated those 16 teams. And if we go 16 teams, that'll be my choice to relocate. We are all in one conference, and the conference playoffs are basically the league playoffs, and the conference championship would be the Super Bowl, if you will. The other 16 teams in the league would remain NFL teams, but they're non-existent. If you've ever paid attention to an NFL scheduling system, you play the teams in your conference, your division twice. You play mostly your conference, except you get 4 teams from the other conference every year that you get to play. That's it, just 4 games, which technically could make our season either 12 games long, or we still say it's 16 games long, and all those games that you play in the other conference are just free wins, so to speak. So everybody automatically has 4 wins. I like the idea of either way, so it really don't make a difference. If I had 16 teams, I could run all 8 games every single week without a hiccup. That's guaranteed. I can guarantee you 16 teams will see their game every single week. So if we go 32, I got to run 16 games as opposed to 8. I have double the work, double the time, double everything that I need to do. That's signing players for guys when they make their moves, updating rosters when they make their moves, cutting players, making trades, all that good stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm all about it. If we can get the owners and we can get the involvement, we can get people involved, and people want to be a part of this. So I'm down with either route that we want to do. The one thing I want everybody to know is 32 teams is a phenomenal thing if we can make it happen, because it's so much more we can do. There's so many more things that can happen. It's going to be a tougher league, a more exciting league. But with 16 teams, things will be more organized and easier to flow for everybody. So, anyway, if you're on the site, like I said, we see the team page. Right now I have the NFL teams up because that's the original idea. I have a link on the website that says human players. It says human players in the DFL, offensive players. I have guys who've sent me applications to be a part of the DFL during all this test sessions. I've carried their players over in each test session so they can be a part of this league once we actually finalize the system, the rules, the league, and the whole 9. So there is a ton of players on there right now, and what position they're going to play, and their heights and weights and all that good stuff. And that's something for the owners they want to look at when they actually get a team signed to them. Obviously, I got a standings page. It's obviously going to be empty. There's a staffs page. On the staffs page, it says owner, president, which would be the general manager, all that of the league, which would be myself. Ed Ritter will be the commissioner of the league. Basically, we're having the same title, the same roles. We're going to be basically working on everything that's going on, Vernon. Now, I don't want people just saying, hey, I'll do it. I do need people to join my staff for these positions. I need a director of operations. And what that means is when you come into the league and be the director of operations, every time we get a new player, possibly a new owner, whatever the case may be, you're the guy that gets to go to them and explain to them the rules of the league, the general operating purposes of the DFL. It saves me the time of having to do it because I am going to be running the league as a whole. So you're their go-to guy that they get to talk to about the everyday operations of the DFL, things of that nature. I need a director of social media. We will be creating a Dynasty Football League Twitter. Has not created yet, but we will make an official Twitter, and I need somebody to be the guy who runs it. You're on there every day, tweeting about games, tweeting about players, advertising, putting it out there, hashtagging things, trying to make the league grow as a whole. And I need a director of player personnel. That guy is the same as the director of operations, but the player personnel guy is the guy who talks to the other players in the league on how to set up their player, how to deal with the league, any questions they may have about getting in and out of contracts, things of that nature. James, if we take the NFL teams, how are you selecting teams? If we take NFL teams, my goal is to try to get everybody their favorite team, but that's not going to exactly happen because I know a lot of people have the same teams. Like right now, I have a guy named Thomas who wants to join the league. He was a part of my old test sessions. He's an Eagles fan, much like yourself. My son is probably going to join the league. He's an Eagles fan, much like yourself. I know Chris Davis, who comes into the show as Spectacular Pooh. He wants the team. He's an Eagles fan. So right there, I know 4 guys that are very interested in becoming owners in the DFL are all Eagles fans. So how do I tell one Eagles fan you get the Eagles and the other 3 no? So to answer your question, not exactly sure just yet. If we go with the 16 theme, if we go with the 16 team theme and we relocate, this is the best part. I don't want anybody saying, oh, I want this relocation team, I want that relocation team. I'm not doing that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take all 16 teams from a conference. I'm going to randomly draw you a team. So if I randomly draw, say, James, I randomly draw you the Miami Dolphins. You now are in the AFC South. So when you relocate them, you need to make sure you geographically relocate them to a team that would fit the South Division. So for the love of God, whoever would get the Colts in the South, I think the Colts, the Dolphins are in the East, not the South. Dolphins are in the East, so you'd move them into an Eastern Conference. So you got the whole Eastern Seaboard. I wanted to say the Colts because the Colts are technically in the South and they're out there in freaking no man's land. So they would hopefully relocate them somewhere in the South to make it realistic. So that would be the case with that. And those relocations would be a first come, first served basis as far as who gets what. Because there's only going to be 4 teams picking teams from the South. So it should be a little easier. And, it's pretty self-explanatory. I think you guys will get it once we get into that. And I'm all about doing it either route. Again, well, I don't know anyone else who's interested in the Rams, and I've seen your comments a couple times, Vernon, about being involved. That's more than willing to let that happen. Like I said, I just need people who, if they're going to join this league, they are going to be involved and put forth the effort to be a part of this league at 100%. At 100%. Now, I'm going to get back on this website. Obviously, I have a link there that says join. We'll be doing a draft, Thomas. I'm going to get to that here in a second because there's some interesting factors that are going to come into this game. On the website, it says join the DFL. Today, there's the player's application and where to send it, which is to my email. And there's also the team owner application. Anyone who wants to be a part of this league, please do that. Go to the website. Again, I'll drop the website one more time here in the room. Go to the website, okay, and go to the join page. Copy and paste the application. All you need to do is put owner's name, which is yourself. Then your 3 team choices, honestly. Now, your 3 team choices, do know this. Their current rosters mean nothing. The current rosters mean nothing for any NFL team. I'm letting you guys know that now, so don't be one of those guys that say, well, it's Madden and this team's loaded, so I'm going to put that down as one of my team choices. Doesn't matter, and I'll explain here in a moment. But I want your honest-to-God 3 team choices. And they will be based on a first-come, first-serve basis. Okay? And I will tell you this. Do not send me any emails now, but make sure you use it because I will open up the owner application section. And when that happens, the first applications that come in, whoever has their team number 1 choice, that's who you get. So let's just say James, who's asking about, a team, this, that, and the other, say he puts the Eagles number 1. I get his application first. James is the Eagles team. That's his team. That's who he gets. If the next very application has Eagles number 1 and I got their application second, I'll go to their second team choice. So for sake of argument, let's just say Lucius West wants to join the league as an owner, and James just took the Eagles. We'll say Lucius's first choice is Eagles, but number 2 is the Patriots. Well, then he'll get the Patriots, and then say Thomas O'Sullivan puts in the application, and he has the Patriots number 1. Well, his application came in third, even though Lucius had it as team choice 2. O'Sullivan would then have to go to the second team on his choice, and so on and so forth. Now, if you see on the application, it says if your application for ownership is accepted, available, you're going to be rewarded a team at random. And what I mean by that is, let's say the 4th application in, all the first 3 choices on their list are all the first 3 owners. I will literally take all the other teams in the league and I am going to literally just select it. I'll show you how I'm going to do this. Let me see here. Go into exhibition mode. Okay, I'm going to show you right now how I'm going to do this. You guys are going to freaking cry laughing. But to me, it's the easiest way. I'm going to go into custom game. I'm going to hold down my button like this, or I'm just going to say, all right, L2, bottom left-hand corner. You see it says L2 random team. Bolt went to the Jaguars. That's who that team's going to inherit right away. And if they don't like it, they can quit as an owner and join as a player. This way, there's no drama, no fighting, no arguing. I don't want nobody freaking out. So we're going to set this screen up to be the Eagles and the Raiders, just simply because it's my favorite team and my most local team. So anyway, that's how that's going to work. Now, getting to the reason why I state their rosters will not matter, and this is why. Some teams in the NFL are absolutely loaded. Other teams are not. And I was trying to make this league original, 100% original, which is why I favor the relocation. But I'm in love with the 32 teams. So I'm on the fence, and I'm not going to decide. The owners are going to decide how they want to do it. It will be a majority vote. If we get the vote for relocation, 16 teams, that's what we're going to do. If we get the vote for non-relocation, 32 teams, that's the way we're going to go. So either way, what's going to happen is this. You're going to get your team, and I'm going to go into Dynasty mode, and I'm going to simulate the first 10 seasons of the league. Now listen to that carefully. I'm going to simulate the very first 10 seasons of the league. Now this goes also to the question from Thomas O'Sullivan about what about a draft. So once the first 10 seasons are over, I will then go into the salary cap penalties and remove every team's salary cap penalty. Whatever the team's roster is after 10 seasons is the roster you are going to inherit. The main reason now takes me back to the statement of originality is to try to eliminate as many real NFL players from the league as possible. Because I know most of you are going to want to jump all over a young player. Like on the screen you got Josh Jacobs and Darren Waller. They're two of the best players in the league right now at their positions. Okay, everybody's going to want to try and jump all over Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. That's why somebody's going to put Chiefs #1 as their team so they get Patrick Mahomes. I already know that. Most of you can agree that's what a lot of people are going to do. They're going to put their #1 choice as these teams that are loaded or teams with big stud players, nice big X-Factor players or what have you. So we're going to do that. 10 seasons simulated. You get the team that you inherit. Salary cap's going to be expunged. Now, if we don't have all the owners we need for all 16 and or 32 teams, the league's going to run those teams, and those teams are going to be real simple. You have to copy the information, Vernon, and then paste it in a new email in your email account. That's what you got to do. Or you can send it to me on Skype. I'll get it that way too. That works too, brother. Vote relocation makes all the owners earn their wins and really build their teams. Hey, either way, I'm with it. But getting to that point now, like I said, you're gonna inherit a team after 10 seasons. You get the roster you get, and all penalties, cap penalties, will be expunged. They'll be taken care of. Now, like I said, let's just say we go 16 teams, like James saying, for relocation. Say we do have a 16-team league and we only have 13 owners. The 3 teams that I don't have owners for the league will technically run the teams, and what that means is if a player needs cut from the roster, we will cut the team that has the actual overall lowest rating regardless of position. Say they have an injury and they need to sign a new player at position so they can take the field, we will sign them the absolute top player available on the board based on overall rating. So we'll give them the best and we'll cut the lowest, and we're going to do that for any team we have to run. If there's trades that you want to make with that team without them having ownership, that's a vote that's going to have to be taken with the league. Are you allowed to propose trades to league-run teams? I personally don't care either way, but the problem is I can't accept it or decline the trade. I can't. So the only way that trade would be accepted or declined is the other owners would have to admit if that was a trade they would honestly accept if they are that computer run team, so to speak. But that's another time, another worry. We can worry about that later. Now, going to rules. There's quite a few rules I put down because I want to make this league as exciting as possible. And right now we have a mission statement that says we're 32 teams, because right now the 32 is the high vote to go all teams. Online coach mode, and I'm going to remove coach mode because we're not really in coach mode, because I really don't know what to call it. Instead, that uses the Madden 2021 platform as our gaming platform. We emphasize fair gameplay by having a detailed set of rules in place designed to rid unfair and unrealistic game play without affecting your ability to coach. This way, no one receives an unfair advantage other than their God-given abilities. Now, we have all kinds of rules where it says commissioner decision making. You guys can go in there and read a lot of this. We have a code of conduct, basically where it says treat each other nicely, don't be jerks. If you have to take a leave of absence because something's going on in your life and you need to put your team on hold, let me know. We'll hold the team for you, but don't just disappear. It has all your owner duties, like meet the minimum team roster requirements during the off-season, participate in all off-season activities, read and acknowledge rules, etc., etc. The list goes on. You can read these things. Free agency. Now, here's the thing I'm going to state about free agency. You may not sign a player to any deal over 5 years in length. That has been a major suggestion I've gotten from quite a few people, no more than 5 years. I personally don't give a damn if you sign a guy to 7 years. But, again, it's up to you, the owners and the players, what works. All free agent bids must have a signing bonus to what the original player is asking for. You can't jump it up, anything, or whatever. Now, I'm going to go into my Dynasty game that I do with Ed and CJ. You guys know CJ. He's DOA in the league. Now, I'm going to go here. And as you see, continue playing Doug, CJ, Ed. I will show you guys what I'm talking about, because I have some negotiations I got to do with my players. I am actually using the Jets because we got our teams in random. So I'm going to go to player negotiations here. All right, now I got Marquise Goodwin. He wants a 2-year deal at a $7.46 million contract. Now, based off the rules, he must leave the signing bonus to what he's asking for. So when I go in to negotiate, that signing bonus right there of 1.25 has to be there. It can't go higher. I mean, it can go higher. It can't go lower is what I want to say. You can't make that lower, because there's a glitch in the game that if you literally go up here and drop this all the way down to 0 and raise this, it's easier to sign a guy, and it helps you with your salary cap issues. That to me is a glitch and is cheating and taking advantage of the system, not allowing it. I'm just not going to do it. Now, Jeff Richmond, if I want to re-sign him, $310K. I don't think anybody's going to sneeze at that. So you have these things that you're looking at or whatever. So, like I said, I'm the Jets in this dynasty. Ed's the Patriots. CJ's the Dolphins. See, there's all our teams. That's me. There's Ed. There's CJ. And there you see the standings right now. But, any case, unrestricted free agents with an overall of 69 or under can be signed immediately on a first-come, first-signed basis. Limit of 3 signings within 48 hours. Like I said, it's very, very interesting. So you got to go to improve the team. Now, let's just say we're in the end of the offseason. This would be the free agents. So say you want Tyler Johnson. He's a 77 overall. You can't have him. You're going to have to bid on him. But if you scroll down, and I'll show you guys all these free agents in a video. So let's just say we go down here and we find a guy who's a 69 or lower. Right here. First one. Anthony Nelson. So say Team A comes in and says, man, I could really use that left end. He's 69 overall. I'd like to have him. He messages me, or she. You're the first person to message me. You're the first person to get a hold of me about said free agent. Automatically yours. Automatically yours. Now, here's the problem. During the season, all players become free agents, first come, first served basis during the season. So at the top of the heap, if somebody wants Tyler Johnson, who's a 77 overall, and you're the first person to mention it to me, you get him. Now, he's shown as an Eagles because he's on their practice squad, but he is available to be picked up. So you guys know that's how that's going to work. Now with the bidding, I don't want guys coming at me and saying, okay, the guy wants $1 million. Team A just bid $1 million to sign him. I don't need you coming along and say, I bid $1 million, 100. Fuck that. Every bid is going to be at least $200K or more. I want to set this exact number. So you have to hit that number. Personally, I want to do 250K, so it's $250,000 for every bid. So, for example, say Vernon bids $1 million. James would then have to bid $1.25 million. Okay, and then Lucius would have to bid $1.5 million, and the list goes on. This way, it saves me time, it saves me hassle, and it saves you as an owner the time of playing around and being an idiot, if you will, just trying to block a guy from getting a team. I'm sorry, a free agent. Again, all these rules are wrote in full detail on the website. Trading, there's going to be no fire sales. No, we're not doing that. You guys know exactly what that means. All trades must be approved by the commissioner and have the majority vote of the league owners, minus those within your division. So if a trade happens in the league, the owners will vote on it like a fantasy football draft before I accept it. So the two owners involved in the draft have to agree, and then the other owners in the league have to know, hey, nobody's trying to cheat and pull the wool over somebody's eyes here. But if the team involved in the trade, it comes out of your division, you are not allowed to vote, because you may vote it down to keep your team better, figuring that trade might make them just a little too good for your team, and I think you guys understand that. Position changes in training camp. You guys know you can trade trade positions. So if you have a guy who's a left end and you don't have a very good right end, you can move the guy to that position. What we're going to do is we're going to allow fullbacks to tight ends, halfbacks to receivers, left tackles to right tackles, left guards to right guards, left ends to right ends, left outside to right outside, middle cannot switch, D tackle cannot switch, centers cannot switch, and D backs cannot switch. That's the current vote. That's the current vote. These rules are, like I said, everything I'm mentioning right now, these rules are on the website. Please check them out. Message me anything you think should not be there, should be tweaked, should be added. I want everybody's feedback so I can start updating stuff. And then wherever we're at, that's where we're going to get. So then, the cost to switch a player. I played football for years. So my point is, if you switch a player from one position to the other, people think it's simple. It's really not. If you're a left end and get switched to right end, it's completely different. You're playing the same position, but everything is now run opposite. When you're coming from the left, you're using everything with the right side of your body. So if you're naturally right-handed, you have a better ability to be on that side. But if you're right-handed and get switched to the right side, your initial arm contact is with the left. You've got to learn how to do that. So it is a -5 awareness to the player if he's 25 years old and younger. If a player is 26 years or older, we're going to go in and take his awareness down 10 points to adjust to that. Now, again, these can be voted on. We can lower those. You can do no more than 3 switches in a season. Now, I'm going to do a thing called training camp and rookie camp points. The training camp points are going to be like this. Once the season's going, 24 points will be awarded to non-playoff teams and 12 points to playoff teams. Now, when this first season starts, we're going to come up with a number and everybody's going to get the same amount of training camp points. And what they are is this. The points may be allocated with the following restrictions. A max of 2 points to any rating. A max of 4 points to any single player. Ratings may not be adjusted to anything that's above a 90. So you can make changes to everything. The player must also then be 26 years old or under. And right now the player's overall must be 84 or under. And what that means is, say you get 24 training points and you have a guy on your team who's an 83 overall and he's 25 years old and he's only like an 86 speed. You can give him 4 training points to get him to a 90 speed, but no higher. Guys go to training camp, they get better. So you're going to be given points to adjust them. So like I said, when you go into a player like Tyler Johnson here, and you look at his ratings, there you see his ratings. I can literally go into this as the commissioner and edit his ratings if I so desired, which is what I'll be able to do when you use your training camp points to improve your team. So if you're a running team, you might want to use your points on your offensive line so you can run the ball more. If you're a quarterback type guy who wants to throw the ball downfield, you might want to use it on your quarterbacks and your wide receivers, as well as the line to keep your guy upright in the pocket. So that's training camp. Rookie camp is going to be the exact same type of system, but you can only use it on rookies. You can put a max of 3 points on any rating and a max of 6 points on any single player. Again, anything over 90 can't be adjusted. I don't want guys saying, okay, I can put 6 points on a guy, his speed's 93. Boom, he's automatically a 99. That's just freaking stupid. Anything at 90 or higher is going to have to grow or lower on its own. You can add everything else. So if you're Tyler Johnson's owner, you have him on your team, you can jump his speed to 90, but no higher. You can jump his acceleration to 90, no higher. You know, that's just how it would work. I hope you guys understand that. I hope that makes sense. Like I said, it's all on there. Read it in detail. One thing you need to know is that if you're interested in in this league, remember, there is no off season. You're going to constantly be dealing with stuff with your team from here on out. It's not like it's going to take over your life. And we're not going to have, when the season ends, a 3, 4, 5, 6 month break. When the season's over, we're going to go into free agency, we're going to go into the draft and everything else. And now that draft now takes me to Thomas O'Sullivan's comment, what about a draft? If you're on the website and you see the human players, those human players, and I'm going to go out of here and go into the draft so you guys can see this here for me. Let me see here, scout the players. I'm just going to go to a kicker real quick. Okay, so here we go, punter. So if I hit the L3, which I'm going to do right now, Brian Stanley's a punter, I can hit edit the draft class. So what I'm going to do is this. As you see, he's the #1 rated punter. He's the #1 rated kicker. On the human players that are going to be in the league, we actually have a guy who is a kicker named Bo Davis who wants to enter the league. So if this is our league, I would hit L3 right now on Max Davison, since he's the first kicker application I've got. That player right there is going to be renamed Bo Davis and be resized at 6'1", 180. And if I click on this guy, it show me he's 6'4", 206. I will change that to 6'1", and then change that to 180. And if you guys want to include a college of your choice, I really don't care. Doesn't make a shit difference to me. And we'll change it. So if he doesn't want to be from Ferris State and he wants to be from Penn State, well, then we'll change it to Penn State. But either way, since it's the first application in, he gets that first kicker on the board to become him. So let's just say we get 3 kicker applications in. The first kicker will be changed. The second kicker will take over then Ricky Sienna. The third kicker application would then take over Bryce Bosher. Whatever their attributes come back, whatever their abilities come back, whatever their skill come back, whatever their overalls come back, that's what you inherit as the owner of that particular player, as you. Okay, so say Callum Brokus wants to join the league as a player, and one of these guys got named Callum, and he gets drafted, and he's a 74 overall. That's what Callum starts out as. If he comes back as a 67, that's what he starts out as. That's where you as a player then need to talk to the owner of your team. Hey, I'm here, I'm involved, I want to be a part of this, I want my guy to grow, help me out, let me be a part of this. Now, this suggestion was brought to me, and I did not add it to the website yet, and this is something I'm actually I like it. Contracts. Okay, now, I don't want no NBA bullshit. And what I mean by that is I don't want everybody accepting the same contract or joining the same team so they can build a championship. I don't want to see that. Because, let's just say, this is where the negative comes in at me offering $100 because somebody could try to play this game, and this is my way of getting out of this. So let's just say we have one of those shiesty guys who wants to be an owner. And he says, hey, join my team, accept the contract to my team, not that team, even though they're going to pay you more. Because if we win the championship, I'll give you a cut of the money. Then he tells a running back the same thing. Oh, and then a defensive end. So now he's trying to build this monster team with all these studs on low-end contracts that we really can't vote against as owners and players, because it'd be unfair to tell a guy where he can and can't play. But here's where you get the opportunity to become a stud in the league, become very important in the league, and that is, the suggestion was made to me, is your contracts can be used to make your player better, meaning you're spending your contract money to become better. Because here's the thing, let's say player A gets a contract from a team that's been traditionally a powerhouse team, and they're offering him a 5-year deal, $50 million. Then they get a contract offer from another team, 5 years, $50 million, but they've been at the bottom of the barrel. That player's going to go to the better team. They just are, naturally, just for that very reason. So I'm trying to think of ways where money can be involved. So that takes me to the contract. Signing bonus and overall money. We have to figure out something. Let's just say for every $5 million your player makes, you get to add an attribute point to your player of your choice as the player. So you get to run your guy to make you better. Because if you're an actual real player in the NFL and you want to get better in the offseason, you're going to be like, I'm too slow. I need to focus on my speed. You're literally going to go out and train and try to build yourself to get faster. Well, now you can use your contract money to buy speed. Again, once things hit 90, you're not going any higher. I may jump it to 93, 4, 5. I know some people have mentioned that to me, but right now I have it set for 90. Say your guys, you feel too weak in your left tackle. I need to get stronger. Let me put money into my strength. So now you're going out weight training or whatever the hell you want to call it. You get bigger, physically stronger to overtake somebody. So, I mean, the list goes on, the things go on. I'm trying to make this league as realistic as possible, as involved as possible. Now I'm just going to click on a guy, see how it says Combine Report, and you can see, whatever. But now I'm going to actually go to a guy on my team. Okay, I'm going to go to my team so you guys can see this. Oh, man, okay. I'm going to go on Jamal Adams. Now you see right there, he's a Superstar X Factor. A Superstar X Factor. Now, if I hit Edit Player, alright, if I hit Edit Player and I go in here, okay, you have Superstar X Factor, you have Superstar, you have Star, and you have Normal. These are 4 different levels. We are debating on how many of these each you may have on your team. We want to literally set that. We literally want to set it up. Now, one of the ideas we have is 4 stars, 3 superstars, 2 X Factors. You'd have 1 X Factor on each side of the ball, no more, no less. If a guy develops into an X Factor and you already have X Factors, that's going to be okay for the season. Because they can change during the season. I've seen it. So once the season ends, you got to get back down within the realm of the rules. So I'm just letting guys know, you got to make sure you know what to do with your guys and your teams and how to set it up. If you want to be an owner and you're not 100% sure you know what you'd be doing and you want to give it a try, guess what? There's no other better way to figure it out but to become an owner and try it. Learn it on the fly. You may suck the first season or 2, but shit, you're going to have fun doing it. So, that being said, yeah, that's my rookie quarterback. Yeah. He ain't no good, though. He's a star already, but hey, what are you going to do? And he was normal when I drafted him, so he's developed into a star. Case in point of what I'm talking about. So, either way, if you guys are interested, I'm letting you know now, as of right now, when I go off the air, applications are available at all times to be players. You can now officially sign up to be owners. Put in your pick for your 3 teams based off us going 32 teams. Okay? And the other reason is if we do go relocation, we may still go with those teams, and that just happens to be the team you get, and then we'll relocate that team for you. So, but either way, I'm going to sign off now, go find me something to do, get something to eat, watch this video back, leave comments, contact me, join the SLS Gaming Network Facebook group, because we're going to do all the communication there. So the guys who are a part of the wrestling, you're going to have stuff come up for football on that channel too. Everything that comes off of this channel here on YouTube is going to be interacted there, in hopes some guys who do the wrestling join the football, and the guys who do the football will join the wrestling to make it fun. So again, I appreciate the love, I appreciate the help. Be a part of this. I want you guys to help me make this thing grow. I really do. Alright, I'm out of here. Take care. Later.